The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, we're breaking down some interesting comments, to say the least, from Bill Parcells when asked directly about Aaron Glenn. Plus, Knick fans, Game 4 tonight. Omari Brown's going to be joining us to talk all things Jets and, of course, mix in some Knicks talk as well. It's the Jake Asman Show. OTAs continue. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans and Knick fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, live on a Wednesday. As always, we are presented by our friends at PrizePicks. We will have a Knicks-themed PrizePick Game 4 lineup coming for you later on in the show. But right now, we say hello to our good friend, Omari Brown, who joins us now in his weekly Wednesday spot. Omari, how we feeling? Big Knick game tonight. And these comments by Bill Parcells that we're about to play certainly made my antenna perk up when I heard what he was saying.
Yeah, I was taken aback. First of all, shout out to you, Jake. You are just living the dream right now. I saw your spot with John Starks. You were at Game 3. I mean, I know the little Jake Knicks fan is probably going crazy right now. But yeah, it's exciting, man. Up 2-1 with a chance to go to 3-1 at home. You got to like our chances.
Got to find a way to get it done. I believe in this team, and I think they'll find a way. We'll talk more about that coming up. I do want to share this at the start of the show, though. Great giveaway today. What I'm holding in my hand is a limited edition Knicks Finals commemorative ticket from the game the other night. So if you want it, plus a Knicks playoff towel, that's the raffle prize today on the show. If you're not a Knicks fan and you don't want this, you can enter the raffle and you can win a Jets jersey instead. Again, that is the top prize, this limited edition Knicks Finals ticket and a Knicks playoff towel straight from the Garden for those of you who are interested in some Knicks playoff memorabilia. All right, Omari, let's play these comments here from Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was doing his thing up in Saratoga before the Belmont Stakes. Friend of the show, Sal Licata, exclusively spoke with the two-time Super Bowl winning coach. And this was the part of the conversation where Sal asked Parcells directly about Aaron Glenn and the New York Jets.
Aaron Glenn, another one from your coaching tree. Do you think Aaron Glenn's set up to succeed with the Jets?
You know, I'm praying for him. He's one of my favorite players. I really have a high regard for him personally, so I'm hoping for his success, yes.
Do you think he's buying his own groceries? If they want him to cook the meal, Coach, I don't know if he's buying his own groceries.
Don't be using my quotes.
Well, you kind of have to have that to have success, right?
Well, if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, like if I go into a real grocery store, I don't know what I'm doing.
That was the only part of the whole conversation about Aaron Glenn. That was it. And I've heard so many different people that know Glenn, have some sort of relationship with him. Even if they don't want to say anything bad, they'll still like gas the guy up, say, oh, this guy's great. He's going to turn it around, even if they don't believe it. This is supposed to be like Aaron Glenn's mentor. And that was the best Bill Parcells could do to try and gas up, if you will, Aaron Glenn. That was like the worst endorsement I've ever heard. He's just like, I love him personally. I'm pulling for him. That's all we got from Parcells there. I'm sorry. That is not a good look for Aaron Glenn. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Listen, even the most optimistic Aaron Glenn supporters out there are probably like, man, doesn't he sound like a dad that knows that his son made a few questionable decisions, but he still loves his son, but he's like, I don't know what the heck he's doing. That is probably the worst endorsement for Aaron Glenn as a head coach that we've seen, Jake. And I know you and I, we've been trying to fish for anything for people to say something, at least teeter the line or negative about Aaron Glenn. And there's not too many people in the industry. Now, again, Bill Parcells is removed, but he's still a Hall of Fame head coach. And this is one of his mentees from his coaching tree. And that does not make me, that doesn't make me, feel safe at all. And we all have our feelings about Aaron Glenn right now, but that was a brutal listen. And I think he tried his best too. I think that was as nice as he could be for regarding Aaron Glenn as a head coach.
I mean, he basically said, yeah, you could call all the shots if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, is that not insinuating that Aaron Glenn might not know what he's doing, that his mentor is acknowledging that, yeah, that first year was so bad? I mean, again, that's a tough look, I think, for all those saying. But Bill Parcells loves Glenn as a person. That doesn't mean that he thinks he's going to be a good NFL head coach.
Yeah, he loves him as a player. He loved what Aaron Glenn did for him as a player. He loves him as a person, like you said. And again, I'm sure that they have a really tight personal relationship. But in terms, if you're being objective as a coach, Bill Parcells knows coaching. I think we can all agree that. And what Aaron Glenn put out, the first 7 weeks, the last quarter of the season, Brady Cook is his quarterback. I think a lot of us can, kick that to the side. But the first 7 to 8 weeks, I would even give him maybe 9 weeks of the season. They were trying to win football games, and the Jets could not do that. They started off 0-7. He fired his entire staff, and he's not in well-regarded company in terms of how he was as a head coach. It's him and Hugh Jackson and a couple of other guys that will never have a second opportunity to coach. So again, it's not a great look for Aaron Glenn, but we know this, Jake. We know this. I'm sure that this is a shock because it is Bill Parcells. But again, if he's being honest, and Bill is a straight shooter, and I think that he's prided himself on being as honest as he can. His famous line is what? You are what your record say you are. And Aaron Glenn's record right now as a head coach is 3-14, and he started off 0-7. So if we're just looking at what they put on the film and what Aaron Glenn has done as a head coach, that's exactly the comments that you'd expect from the big tuna, right?
I'm praying for him. He's one of my favorite players. I have a high regard for him personally, so I'm hoping for his success. I mean, if you go and listen to the full interview, when the name Sean Payton comes up, that's when Parcells speaks glowingly about the type of coach he is, this and that, because the difference is Sean Payton actually coached under Bill Parcells, whereas Aaron Glenn just played for Parcells. There's a difference. So I never agreed with the thought process by Mike Tannenbaum and the 3013 from the beginning, where Tannenbaum said to me on the radio, the first thing he did when he got the opportunity to consult for the Jets on the coach search was ask Bill Parcells. Parcells was like, I love Aaron Glenn. Well, as if that means that's the stamp of approval for Aaron Glenn to be a good head coach, because Parcells 30 years prior to that coached him with the Jets. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, listen, if this thing goes the way a lot of people think it is going to go, hopefully we can do away with the 33rd team. No disrespect to Mike T, and I know that he's a guest and you guys have a relationship, but I think we're all tired of the 33rd team. Yeah, listen, Peyton Manning, spoke glowingly of Adam Gase. He did say that he did say that he needed to be an offensive coordinator before he became a head coach. And Christopher Johnson said, "Oh yeah, what do you know? I'm going to I think he's a genius." So again, we can have ring-in endorsements for people, but that just doesn't mean that they're good at their jobs. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that can speak highly for you as a person, but that doesn't mean that you can go be the CEO of $1 billion tech company. So it just doesn't always correlate.
Yeah, that was tough. I figured we heard so much about this great relationship that they have that Parcells would go out there and really back him publicly. And he's just like, I'm rooting for him. Not like, oh, he learned a lot in year one. It's going to be better in year two. Aaron's the type of guy that really does well when he's dealing with adversity. You got nothing other than I'm rooting for him. And then when Sal gave him the opportunity to talk about the famous quote about, if you shop for the groceries, you want to prepare the meal. Parcells basically like, yeah, if you know what you're doing,
yeah.
Am I not supposed to look into that as well? Does Aaron Glenn know what he's doing? Like, what exactly is Bill Parcells saying there?
I know. Well. How about this? Let me frame this for you. Is Parcells really? Is he still tapped in, or is he
I,
just surface level?
if you believe what people have said, like Samini has called Parcells for stories during the season. He's still watching all the games.
Okay. All
But
right.
again, Bill Parcells is how old? Like he's got to be in his mid 80s, right? Like
Has to
Bill
be.
Parcells is 84 years old.
Yeah. So again, that is not the ringing endorsement that you want. And the way they made it seem, and I'm glad you said that you didn't even put it together. Aaron Glenn didn't even coach under Bill Parcells. So again,
Right.
he
He's
was
not
just
from
a
the
player.
Parcells tree.
Yeah,
He
he's
just played
not.
for
He's
him.
not from the tree. He just played for him. So again, he probably doesn't even have that allegiance, and he probably doesn't know Aaron Glenn's style as a coach. So we weren't going to get a ringing endorsement on this, but I think that this is just more gasoline on the Glenn is over his head fire, and that fire is brewing and it's huge, and that's why when you said week 1 being a must win, I was completely on board with you, because when you have sound bites like this, where you have the fan base and you have the record and just how he acted in the podium his first year, it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. It's going to be an uphill battle for him, and it's going to be uphill from, honestly, I think training camp.
I just usually you hear the endorsement, even if they don't believe it, they just say it, and he's like, I'm rooting for. I thought that was I thought that was telling. I really did. I was not expecting, because we have heard so much about this great dynamic that Parcells and Glenn had. That Glenn still calls Parcells regularly for feedback and advice, and that's the best they got right there. So I don't know. Sorry writes in, does it get any better than Omari on Asman on a Wednesday? Let's go. They say it's the best time of the week. That's what I'm hearing. Sorry. So appreciate you watching the show. If you tuned in late, we got a great giveaway for all my fellow Knick fans out there. When I'm holding in my hand a NBA Finals limited edition laminated ticket from the game the other night, that and a playoff towel you have a chance to own if you enter. And if you see the secondary prices on some of this stuff, it's going for a lot of money. So if you want a part of Knick history, enter the raffle, get the membership, or send in a super chat or Venmo to qualify. You'll be in the weekly raffle for the signed Cat jersey, signed Garrett Wilson framed jersey art print, signed Aaron Glenn end zone pylon. I don't know if Bill Parcells will be entering to win that, and a signed Richard Todd jersey, all up for grabs on our show today. Omari, Aaron Glenn will speak today around 11:30. He will, I'm sure, be asked more questions about the younger players on this team. I'm sure he'll be asked about Geno Smith and his progression, learning Frank Reich's offense. So we'll get some more on-field takeaways later today as the Jets have an open practice. But as we sit here right now, what are some of these storylines that have intrigued you throughout OTAs that you've been following?
Yeah, so I would say the most important one is going to be the development and the rapport between Geno Smith and the wide receivers, specifically AD Mitchell. I think AD Mitchell is going to he can be an X factor, because his skill set is exactly what the wide receiver room is missing. That big prototypical X that can stretch the field and could be, and I'm not comparing him to this player, Jets fans, but I think, that a similar play style, DK Metcalf, he only has to run a handful of routes. You want him to take the top of the defense, and Geno was able to find DK Metcalf at a high clip during their time in Seattle. So I've been looking at that. I've been listening to the development of the offensive line, our bookend tackles. Josh Myers spoke very highly of Armand Mimbo, said that he can be one of the greats. He said great, almost a handful of times. So those are the type of storylines that I've been following, and also some of the second year players, AZ Thomas, and the second year with the Jets, Jarvis Brownlee, some of the defensive backs. That's what I've been listening as well too, and also the leadership from the Minka Fitzpatricks, the Demario Davis, and the David Onyemadas of the world. So that's what I've been paying attention to, and I think a lot of those players, they're going to have a huge factor on if the Jets can turn this thing around or not. But I think the most important thing is Geno Smith and AD Mitchell, because if you can unlock that, that could be a whole different dynamic that the Jets haven't had in quite some time. I'm thinking maybe Robbie Anderson, to where the Jets have just had a legit deep threat to where, maybe once or twice a game they're going to pop one. So that's what I've been paying attention to.
You buying the AD Mitchell hype? You think he could have a bigger role than many felt?
I'm a little bit lower on AD Mitchell than a lot of people because I just think the hands. It's always with AD Mitchell, it's bringing the catches in. He can do everything properly. He's exactly what you want your ex to look like. He's damn near 6'3", over 200 pounds. He can jump. He runs the 4.3. Now we just got to bring it in, So I'm not as high on AD Mitchell as some fans, but I do think that he's going to be able to unlock something to this Jets offense and take some of the pressure. We've talked about this all offseason. A lot of this is just about taking the pressure and the attention off of Garrett Wilson, and him being able to stretch the field will do that.
I think you're spot on in that regard. Hey, shout out to PBM. Got not one but two super chats. He's talking Nick, says hopefully the refs don't F us again. F dirty Wemby. PBM then writes, and let's go Knicks. Send ET home with an L. Wemby is the next Joel Embiid. PBM, I love your passion, man, but Wemby is way better than Embiid because Wemby actually plays and is already in the finals. Embiid has never even made a conference finals, but I like it. Let's go Knicks. Hit it, Mike Brown.
Turn the fucking Jets on! Turn the fucking Jets on!
Mike is the first to enter our raffle today. Did we lose Omari Brown? Right now, Omari Brown looked more like Omari Black. Dun-dun-dun. Black hole. He was in there. We'll get Omari back with us shortly. Again, Mike's the first to enter today. We got a Knicks limited edition laminated playoff ticket from the finals and a playoff rally towel for all the Knicks fans. If you don't want that, if you just want to enter the raffle, we're going to raffle away a Jets jersey, player of your choosing on these shows today. You can pick a Jet legend or you can pick a current player on the team. Let's bring Omari back with us. We got the internet rolling, Omari. We're good?
Yeah, I just glitched out. But yeah, listen, Wemby is nothing like Joel Embiid because you know what? It's a funny stat. Pacome Dadier has more Eastern Conference Finals points than Joel Embiid.
That is a great stat.
Wemby is nothing like Wemby is nothing like Joel Embiid.
I love it. You're not wrong there. All right. Some controversy on the show this week when Tanky V came on the show Monday and he debuted another magical list of takes that certainly split many in the fan base. What are your thoughts on the Frankie V list of the three players he thinks are going to be better than most of us think, and then the three players that he thinks are going to be worse than we think? You know Frankie V well, so get inside the mind of Tanky V. Your thoughts on this?
Listen, inside the mind of Frankie is treacherous territories. No, listen. No, shout out to Frank, man. I want to start with the worst than most people think because I'm not as down and low on Mason Taylor as most fans are. Now, again, people say that he was drafted very high. Yes, he was a second round tight end. He was a top 50 pick, but I look at him as being more of a tight end too. So I'm viewing him, my comp for Mason Taylor, and this might not excite a lot of people, but he is a solid veteran, is Cole Kmet. So you look at their first year, Cole Kmet with Mitch Trubisky. It wasn't anything crazy to write home about. He had less than 300 yards, and that was, I think, Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields are probably going to be similar in terms of efficiency and how they were able to get the ball and disperse it around. So I look at Mason Taylor. I think in a second year, Mason Taylor had 44 catches on 65 targets for just under 400 yards. So I'm looking at Mason Taylor to take a step with a better QB. In terms of T'Vondre Sweat, that's the biggest one for me. I just think T'Vondre Sweat is going to be a monster because when you think about it, he was ranked 9th out of 132 D tackles and then 4th out of 134 respectively in 2024 and 2025, and that's for the run game. So I'm not expecting much from T'Vondre Sweat in terms of pass rush. That's why we have Javon Briggs, but I think T'Vondre Sweat is going to be an absolute anchor in the middle of this defense. You look at his PFF grades too. He was ranked over, I think it was 85, his PFF grade overall. So I think T'Vondre Sweat is going to be an absolute stalwart in the middle. So I'm actually high on T'Vondre Sweat, and I think that was arguably it might be one of Muji's best trades that don't have to do with, bringing back a draft pick, because those, the Sauce and Quentin trades were tremendous. But in terms of just value, getting rid of Jermaine Johnson and getting a younger, I mean, if in terms of just run defense, maybe a better player, I thought that it was a home run. So I didn't agree with him on that one. And then what was the third one? So it was
The
Mason
third
Taylor,
one
Tavondre.
was Minka. I just wanted to showcase this
Yeah.
photo of
Oh.
Big 99 on the screen because Tavondre Sweat is a gigantic human being.
He's a house. He's a house. He's filling up a doorway. And I think 99 looks good on him too, right? Just
It
a
does fit
huge,
for
massive-
the
yeah.
big, fat guy in the middle number.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first guy that you want to get off the bus. So, and then Minka, I wanted to talk about Minka a little bit. So, a lot of people were down on Minka, and rightfully so. Before 2 years in Pittsburgh, before going back to Miami, he wasn't good. His grades were low, and he was in the middle of the pack in terms of his ranking on safety. So I do understand that. The switch was Minka played damn near 800 snaps at free safety in 2024, and in 2025. He didn't pass 220 snaps at free safety. So Minka's been playing a lot of big nickel, and I think he had over 300 snaps in the slot. And I think that hopefully that's what Aaron Glenn continues to use him as, to take away some of that intermediate crossing routes and play him in the box in the slot. So I think that Minka playing closer to the line as he gets older, as he gets longer in the tooth in his career, is going to help him. So hopefully they're going with Malachi Moore a little bit to play some, play that safety 3, or maybe put him in some free safety situations. So I think Minka's actually going to be better if they utilize him properly. Now,
you want to hear the craziest take, Omari?
Frankie
said Malachi Moore will be better than Minka this year. And I'm like, you're nuts.
Yeah, I disagree with that. But I do like Malachi Moore, though. I like him a lot, but I don't think he's going to be better than Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, here's the thing. Yeah. If Frankie's right with his list, that's a bad look for Darren Muji, who I think has done a good job. Like, if you're wrong on Taylor, Sweat, and Minka, those are 3 notable moves they've made. Taylor, 2nd-round pick. Sweat, you traded Jermaine Johnson for. Minka, you made a big investment in to sign him for basically a contract that's guaranteed 2 years. Like, if you're wrong on all 3 of those guys, they're not good. That's a problem when we have – I don't want to say all of us, but a lot of us have anointed or have spoken glowingly about Muji. We believe in him, all that. That's a bad look if those 3 guys don't work out.
Jake, that's a terrible look. That's a terrible look. That's what, 40% of the moves that he made this offseason? And then that's a premium pick. So now we're starting to question it. If he misses on those picks, now we're starting to question, is this really the guy to find the QB? So I don't even want to go to that scenario. But the list that he said that he's higher on, I'm with you, Jamie Sherwood. And I think you and I have talked about this too. I think the Jets are going to have to try to salvage Sherwood because you can't move that contract. He's making $15 million a year, and the tape was bad last year. And Jamie will tell you that as well too. But I think the entire defense is going to benefit from Demario Davis, but I think no singular player is going to benefit more from Demario Davis than Jamie Sherwood. One, he does not have to be the green dot. He doesn't have to call the defense. He doesn't have to get people into their right positions. And that's going to allow him to play faster, Jake, because, when you don't have to think, that's a click that you can play faster. So instead of him, I think Sherwood does struggle with diagnosing plays, specifically on misdirection, running plays and play action. So I think that I think we're going to see the best version of Sherwood, and that's going to be the version that we saw with CJ Mosley. So I do agree with him there. One guy that I'm not high on at all, and we could talk about this, is Braylon Allen. I mean, Braylon Allen, he looks exactly what you want all of your football players to look like. I don't think anybody looks better in a shirt and shorts than Braylon Allen.
Dude, he's Mr. June. He's Mr. July and August every year because they're not fully hitting at that time. He's a physical specimen, and he's always great in training camp every year.
Every year. And again, I know that he got injured. I'm just not high on Braylon Allen. I'm working on an article now about the veteran running back market. I think Darren Muji, because obviously, you and I have a running joke. He has to catch up to Howie, so he has to make a couple trades here. So I think that he should be looking around the running back market. And I'm looking right at Arizona because they have Trey Benson and they also have James Conner. So that running back room is crowded, and I think that they should be looking at one of those veteran options because we are a Breece Hall injury or a Breece Hall hamstring away from the 2-headed monster of Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. And I don't think any one of us want that. Or then we're looking at Kene Aguanu, right? So I think that I think RB2 is one of the biggest competitions, but I also think that it's one of the biggest weaknesses on this team.
I think you're onto something there because if you're the if you're the Knicks, I got the Knicks on my mind. If you're the Jets, you need Brees to be Brees, but one injury to Brees, you have a lot of unproven commodities in your backfield. Like I don't disagree that a veteran running back addition wouldn't be the worst idea in the world if you can find the right guy that kind of fits the play style of the other guys in the room.
Yeah, and just somebody that you can trust back there. And right now, and I would listen. I'm a little more optimistic than some people are. I would love for Braille Allen to be, that short yardage change of, that the thunder to Brees's lightning, or Isaiah Davis to really take a tremendous step. But we have to view these players on what they've shown us. And right now, Braille Allen hasn't shown us much in the regular season, and he's coming off an injury as well too. And Isaiah Davis is a nice change of pace scat back, and that's just not enough for a team and a coach and a regime that's looking to solidify themselves and make a tremendous step this season.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Big giveaway today on the show. NBA Finals limited edition laminated game ticket and playoff towel. If you don't want that, Jets jersey, player of your choosing. Could be a Jet legend like Namath or Curtis Martin, or a current player like Garrett or Brees. So make sure you enter for your chance to win. Game 4, NBA Finals tonight. Let's talk a little bit about the Knicks, then we'll get to your calls on anything you guys want in on, including what we led the show with, the Bill Parcells lack of a full endorsement of Aaron Glenn. So listen back to that if you want our full thoughts on Parcells' comments. We are presented by PrizePicks. Here's my PrizePick lineup for Game 4 tonight. Dylan Harper, more than 3.5 rebounds. Victor Wembanyama, more than 21.5 points. Cat, more than 11.5 points. Got to get Cat going, especially utilizing him in the fourth quarter. And Mitch, give me one of those alley-oop dunks from Brunson or Alvarado. Mitchell Robinson, more than 1.5 points. This is a 4-pick power play. All 4 need to hit to turn $20 into $42. My official PrizePick lineup for Game 4 tonight. Use promo code HMA when you sign up using my link in the description and turn $5 into $50 in cash for lineups immediately. All right. As far as the game tonight, Omari, how can the Knicks put to bed Game 3 and start a new winning streak tonight in Game 4?
Listen, they have to keep the pace. All right, because I think once you let San Antonio set their half-court defense, that's when we're seeing a lot of it felt like Tibbs ball at certain points of Game 3. A lot of dribbling the ball, not getting into the offense with until 8 seconds to go, and that's not what got the Knicks there. So again, I want to see some pace. Turning the rebound right into the fast break. Josh Hart did it a few times, and again, there was just so much wrong with Game 3. I think, obviously having the president there, that just ratcheted it up, the security. So I'm sure that guys, they were out of their routine. They were first finals game at the Garden in 27 years. And even you said it just felt a little weird. And it was never, I think the refs just kept disrupting the flow of the game. Mikal got 2 quick fouls, so he wasn't really into the game. The Wemby push and things like that. So it was just so much going on. And I knew that the Spurs were going to come out and be desperate, and the Knicks were going to get their best shot. And with all that, Jake, and going 2 for 12 in the fourth quarter, they still only lost by 4. So I think that we just all need, as fans, just need to take a collective breath and really look at the game. Mikal isn't going to play that bad again. Cat, we have to get him involved in the fourth quarter. The fact that he hasn't scored in the fourth quarter in the entire series is just mind-blowing to me, and the Knicks are up 2-1. And also, I saw a stat, and shout out to Anthony Donahue. Please follow him. He's a great follow on Twitter. The Knicks are 14-0 whenever Cat has 4+ assists. So again, I want to see some high post Cat, and even if they're going to put a wing on him, because if you notice, they have Wemby, just camped out in the center, and now they have a wing, either Castle or Vassell guarding Cat at the high post. So they're going to have to mitigate that a little bit as well too. But again, they have to get into the offense quicker. I want to see more transition and they have to just get into. I want to see some more drives. I want to see some more drives and sprays. And the shooting isn't going to be that bad again as well too. And one thing, and I'm not saying to go injure somebody, they're beating Brunson up. I'm not going to complain about the refs because I do think that Stephon Castle is getting mugged as well too. They're beating Brunson up and they're being physical with him. Somebody has to send a message to the other team. I think that San Antonio took a little bit of the momentum back. And I think that somebody from the Knicks needs to say, hey, listen, I'm going to go, like, this is going to be a hard foul. We can play physical, but you cannot touch our best player. So whether it's Mitch, and you know what else? Everybody keeps saying that it's Jose Alvarado. It can't be the smallest player on your team. It has to be somebody. It has to be, I don't even know if OG has that mentality. It has to be somebody like OG. It has to be somebody like Mitch. You have to establish, like, guys, listen, this is the finals and it has to be physical, but you cannot touch our guy.
I think all that is fair. There needs to be a heightened sense of urgency from the Knicks, how they start the game. They've been down in the first quarter in all these games. I think they need to go out there and take it to the Spurs, get a lead for once, kind of flip the script on some of these games. You hope Mike Brown's comments about the officiating after game 3, there's strategy involved in the sense of hopefully getting a more even whistle in this game tonight. And I want to see now I'm saying the Jets. I want to see the Knicks feature Karl Anthony Towns early and often, get him involved, run the offense through him, and especially in the fourth quarter, less relying all on Brunson, move the ball. They play well when Bridges plays well. They lose when he doesn't. So Mikal Bridges staying out of foul trouble will be key. I don't think he will be in foul trouble. That was an anomaly. And they just got to shoot better. I mean, you got nothing from Landry Shamet. He'd been playing great. He had an off night. You got nothing from Bridges. You got nothing from Deuce. I think this should be the game we see Cat take a couple threes and kind of be the spark from the outside shooting that way. Catch the Spurs off guard in that regard. I just think the Knicks have handled all the adversity through these playoffs. They are locked in. I'm excited to see how they respond. They didn't play great, and they only lost by 4 points in game 3. A lot of turnovers, clean that up. The sloppy kind of turnovers was the problem too. I think some of it was just nerves and the uneasiness at the beginning of the game. Settle in, and I think the Knicks have a great chance to win tonight. I think they can beat this Spurs team. They almost didn't even play their best the other night.
And that's exactly how I'm feeling too. You know, listen, it was the 13-game win streak was cool, but I never thought the Spurs are just too good to get swept. And some people are telling me like, oh, they're not that good. I'm like, I know these guys are young. Wembanyama is really good. Now, watching him during this season, and he's pissing me off a little bit, but these guys
he
are
should have got a
They're
flagrant.
young.
The fact that the NBA rescinded that is a joke.
Jake, don't even get me started. Like, I really don't try to complain about refs, but that should have been a flagrant. But what about the reckless closeout on Josh
Right.
Hart? So one of those, and I understand the NBA is a business. Wemby they're positioning him to be the face of the league. He's a safe face of the league. He's like he's like the Tim Duncan. Yeah, that play, that should have at least been a foul. To not have anything called, and like plays like games like that, the refs have kind of, the way that they've been inconsistent with the whistle, it allows for more physicality to where almost somebody's going to get hurt. Because if Brunson retaliates right there, he gets a flagrant. So, and I understand that they're not, because Wemby's next flagrant foul, he's going to have to miss a game, right? So unless he does something.
No, he's 2 away from it. That's the problem.
Oh, so 2 away. Okay.
The NBA announced that they got the call wrong. There should have been a foul called here. They reviewed it and said it is not a retroactive flagrant foul that we're going to add. Because if they gave Wemby a flagrant for this, he's 1 away from having to serve a suspension. And then the Knicks could basically try and bait him into doing something dumb to try and basically get him to freak out, lose his cool, and then he'd have to miss a game like what happened to Draymond in Game 5 of the NBA Finals in 2016. It's a joke, though, because if any other player does this, they get a flagrant immediately. And here's the thing. Brunson being the pro he is, if he got in Wemby's face and they teed him up, then the Knicks could at least challenge. The league would look at it in that moment, and they'd give Wemby the flagrant there. So Brunson being a good dude and not losing his composure actually benefited the Spurs. And that, to me, is so messed up. Because if Brunson freaks out here and gets in Wemby's face, they call a T on him, they review it, and then they go, whoa, this actually was incited by Wembanyama, and they change the call, and he actually gets a flagrant. So Brunson being a good dude actually benefits the Spurs, and that's infuriating because that should be a flagrant.
It should be. And even if you don't listen, the one where Castle basically runs him over, he didn't extend his arms. Okay, I understand that. That one and the reckless closeout after they called even less reckless closeout on Brunson, the 4-point play on Champagny. Wemby's closeout was way more reckless than Brunson's was on Champagny. And listen, I'm not, and I'm going to say this again, I'm not going to complain about the refs. The Knicks didn't play well enough to win that game. But again, the consistency has to be there. It has to be there. And I thought that Josh Hart, I don't know if you have that clip, Jake, but that Josh Hart, he had nowhere to land. And I understand Wemby probably wears like a size 24. You still have to give the shooter a safe landing spot. And they didn't. And they're just missing clear calls. And
yeah, they called the one on Brunson when, like, what is he supposed to do? He's jumping sideways. Like, it's just the whistle has been brutal if we're being objective. In game 2, I actually thought it was worse than game 3. And it's like so transparent what these refs are doing. They're trying to get this series to be longer than the sweep that very easily could have been coming tonight if the Knicks had won game 3.
Jake, they called a foul on Brunson for swiping Parcell's hair.
After the shot was already up. Yep.
After the shot was already off, but then they missed the closeout. And did you see when Mike Brown was talking to the head ref? I believe it's Mark something. I forget his name. Sorry, I'm sure that you know. He said, "Hey, you called that a foul down there, and then you called that a travel." And then he goes, "Oh shit, my bad." Like there's a clip going around with that. So
how about the sequence in the game, Omari, when the Spurs got to play 6-on-5 without a technical, and the Knicks were going to get an open look, and then they blew it dead.
It's been a lot. I understand.
And again, they only lost by 4. They only lost by 4, despite all this we're talking about.
So and that's why I just tell people to relax. I'm talking to Knicks fans specifically. Championships aren't easy.
Yep.
We need to trust this team. Listen, they were bound to lose. They haven't lost since Darren Muji traded back up into the first round for Omar Cooper Jr. That's how
they actually lost within seconds of the Sadiq pick because I was in Pittsburgh watching both.
Exactly. So listen, since Cade Klubnik has been a Jet, that was the first loss.
Yep.
All right. So we just all need to relax a little bit. There's going to be some adversity. Before this, I said Knicks in 7. I never thought that the Spurs were going to get swept because it was either going to be one of these middle games of the first 4. The refs were going to insert themselves, and Tony Brothers did his damnedest to make sure that the Knicks only took 1 in San Antonio. That was some of the worst, most egregious officiating I've ever seen in the finals in quite some time. And the Knicks, listen, last year, I'm pretty sure the Knicks lost game 3 after taking 2 in Boston. So again, this is the finals. Relax. We remember what got us there. Mike Brown has done a good job putting the onus and putting it out there like, hey, listen, we need some consistent officiating. And I think that we're going to see a battle. And I think the Knicks are going to win tonight and go back San Antonio 3-1 with a chance to close it in 5. But again, I think it's going to come back. I've always had Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6 was my pick before the season started or the series started as well. Knicks fans, you want this? You want the playoff towel that you see behind me? One of the Knicks towels from the playoffs. We're raffling this limited edition NBA Finals ticket on the program today. You got to enter the raffle like Candyman did. He hit the join button and became a channel member. He's got 1 raffle entry. Thank you very much, Candyman. By the way, I received a Zelle from John J. Williams. He's in the raffle for 2. You could Zelle, you could Venmo if you're unable to super chat or gift the community a membership. Right now, no one has gifted a membership during the actual show. The first person to gift a membership of any kind, whether it's 1, 5, 10, or 20, we're doubling it, baby. So go fast. Winner gets the double of their membership to get us going here on an NBA Finals Game 4 morning. Abu Jacob says, do you think the refs are going to let Wemby get away with his antics tonight, or did Coach Brown put enough attention on it? Look, I do think it's going to be more of an even whistle tonight. I do. I think there's strategy involved in what Mike Brown was doing. Game 3 is over. You voice your displeasure, hoping that for game 4, you get a better whistle to go your way. We saw Rick Carlisle pull this nonsense a couple of years ago against the Knicks. This is what the coaches around the league, they do when they think they're getting a bad break in free throw disparity.
Yeah. This is the game within the game. This is some, coaches' gamesmanship, and you have to do that. listen, you had ESPN, the company, Jake. You had Kendrick Perkins saying like this isn't a fair whistle. A lot of even Richard Jefferson said on the broadcast, he goes, I think this game, I believe it was game 2. He said, I think this game is too physical right now. So the officiating just hasn't been consistent at all. And I think his name is Mitch Montgomery. I think he was on Get Up, or he was speaking with Malika Andrews, and they talked about it. He said, we got it wrong, talking about the league and the officiating, that they got it wrong. So
yeah, they got it wrong on that Wembanyama Brunson play, and then still did not change it to a flagrant, though. They just said we should have called a foul on it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I understand that this guy is going to be the face of the league, but just let him earn it. Just let him earn it. LeBron had to earn it. Shaq had to earn it. Jokic had to earn it. Giannis had to earn it. Just like, Steph had to go through what he had to go through. So I think that we're going to see, I wouldn't be shocked, Jake, if we see at least 8 Brunson free throws tonight, because they are beating him up. They are. They are. They're hand checking. They're pushing him. They're pushing him on his shoulders. They're getting him off his spot. Like it's been a tough go of it for Jalen. But again,
call
I think
it fair on both sides. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I thought Mike Brown actually had the best answer to it. It's like, okay, maybe we're fouling, but I'm supposed to believe that the Spurs are playing perfect defense. It should be 24 to 8 or 24? 24-8 in the second half free throw disparity. Like, come on.
Yeah, listen, there's way too many bodies hitting the deck, and these guys aren't flopping. Jalen sometimes sells it a little bit, but these guys aren't flopping. Like, Stephon Castle is playing through a lot of contact. I've actually been impressed with him the most. Yes, he has some turnovers, but he gets hit every time he drives. Brunson's getting hit. I think those two, they should be lead, not Wemby. Those two should be leading their teams in free throw attempts, because they are getting hacked every single time they drive the basket. And I don't know what it is, because sometimes I think it's because Wemby, it's the wingspan. And he's all arms and all legs, so it looks, aesthetically it looks like he's getting beaten up a lot. But every time you touch him can't be a foul, And I think that Cat should be allowed to establish position as well too. So I just want to see 2 really good teams play without officials inserting themselves into the game. So you're right. I hope we do get a fair whistle this evening.
Robin narrowly eked out Ozzy to become the first listener to gift a membership to someone in the community. Robin, you are in for 2. Ozzy, you are in for 1. Let's go. Don't let go of the rope.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Tenacious says, put me in. You're in for 2, Tenacious.
Hey, you never know.
You got to be in it to win it. Anthony says, I'm here for the swag. I need a towel for Anthony Square Garden tonight. Anthony, I see you're watching on X. Get to YouTube and gift 1 membership. It costs $5, and you'll be in the raffle for 1, or you can send in a super chat, or if you want to Venmo me, it's Jake-Asman. That is what Mr. Flowers did. He purchased 4 raffle tickets. Hit it, Lowski.
Yes! Yes! Let's go Knicks! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. NYC restaurant guy, I see you're on hold, but I see a black screen. I don't know if he's actually there. And he is not there.
Yeah,
anyone else who wants to call in, the Gustbuster Umbrella hotline link is pinned in the comments. Reminder, Atlantic City, July 11th. Come hang out and have the time of your life. See Omari Brown in a Speedo, Frankie V, all your favorite personalities. Will Parkinson, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Ryan Delaney, Richie, Sabo, Dom C, Bree Martinez, Nick Faria, Nick Shine, Tyson Roush, BT, Fireman Ed, Connor Hughes, Antoine Staley, Brian Costello, Ryan Sampson, Rich Samini, and yours truly, ganggreenbeachclub.com. Get your tickets. The website was down overnight. Shout out to John LG for letting me know. John, the website is back up. So anyone who needs tickets can go to ganggreenbeachclub.com and you can get your tickets to the event of all events. Besides the NBA Finals, there's no bigger event this summer in the tri-state area than Gangrene Beach Club. Joe the Jet, super chat. My car broke down in the middle of the road. The tow truck is 40 minutes away. I'm watching Jake's show to keep me sane. By the way, Knicks in 5. Joe, best of luck to your car situation there, man. That is
just
tough.
Don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, Joe the Jet. Don't let go.
Yeah, we'll keep you entertained, brother. Yeah, but listen, I would love Knicks in 5, but I just think I just think Knicks in 6 is gonna happen. And plus, Jake, wouldn't it be much better for the Knicks to clinch and just really win the championship at the Garden? Like that
That
would
would be
just
the dream scenario.
that would be the icing on this cake. And if you're in the building, I would love that for you because you've been on a legendary run. Actually, really quick, man, how was that? I saw the spot that you did with John Starks. Were you I always forget how old you are, but like, did you get to see Starks play, or was
No,
that a little bit before you?
yeah, he was before my time, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I didn't get to experience those 90s teams. Obviously have immense respect for what John Starks means to all Knick fans and his career with the team. So it was really cool to talk to him. Such a good guy, man. He really is. He's
Yeah.
such a nice guy. Anyone I've interviewed that played on those 90s Knicks teams always have been really cool to speak with. So it was cool to get to hang out with him for a little bit.
Yeah, and quick question: does any team in the NBA do a better job of representing and putting their alumni, at the forefront during all these runs? The Knicks do a tremendous job of that. I know that we make fun of the once a Knick, always a Knick, and other fans always want to make fun of us, like why are you guys showing so much love to Tim Thomas and things like that, or Al Harrington? But I don't think other fan bases get it. The Knicks do a really good job with their alumni.
100%. I mean, the thing that's really cool about that is it's helped change the reputation of the franchise by doing those things for all the alum. So that was Worldwide Wes's idea, by the way, because I had Stephon Marbury on a radio show I did a few weeks ago, and we talked about how, a guy who basically left on awful terms with the ownership and everything with Isaiah Thomas that went down with Marbury. How did you get back into the graces of the Knick organization? And he said it was Worldwide Wes. They had a a come to Jesus moment together and squashed all the beef. And Stephon Marbury and James Dolan are on great terms. Now Steph is sitting courtside at every game, basically.
And he is hyped up. He's sweating. I love it. I thought John Starks was going to have a heart attack, man, when the Knicks went on that little run to close out the first half. But no, that's so good, man. I watched it, and great job by you. Like he said that they call James Dolan Pops now, so it's just it's really
What a
good,
world.
man. I know, and winning cures all. Could you imagine us talking this glowingly about James Dolan 6 years ago or pre-Leon Rose? That's why I tell Jets fans, just to bring it back really quick, man, if you hire the right people and get the hell out of the way, in enough time and enough winning, people won't even remember some of the foolish things that you did back in the day. So listen, man, like there's an avenue for the Jets to do that. And I think, one of my articles was talking about, like the formula, like, is the formula there? Is the recipe there for the Jets? And I think that if you get the right people, man, I think that, come 2028 or 2029, some of us will probably be, speaking glowingly of Woody Johnson.
Winning is the only thing that matters. Again, the same things that they say about Woody now. I lived through it as a diehard Knick fan. They were saying about James Dolan. Same thing. Same exact thing. Brian writes in, is Omari going to the beach club? You're damn right he is. Look at this sexy beast right here.
Absolutely. Listen, that doesn't even do me justice. That looks like Jawan Briggs, man. Come on.
Jawan Briggs is awesome, though. That's a good comp.
No, he is. Yes, I will definitely be there, Brian. I will absolutely be there. I got to keep certain people out of the pool. I got to make sure that everyone is acting right. Hopefully, I got to, tell some people to keep their clothes on, man. But I will absolutely be there. And we hope to see you guys there too, man. We got the Justice League of Jets creators, and Jets beat writers. So it's going to be an awesome time, man. I'm fully expecting this to be the biggest Jets fan event outside of training camp or whatever the official team does, man. So I'm pumped up. Less than a month away.
100%. I'm pumped. I can't wait. And we're gonna have a great time. Anyone who still wants to go, again, tickets $25, general admission. We're gonna have our own area for all the Jet fans who are making the trip. You don't need to be a Jet fan to show up. It's gonna be a blast. Spend a weekend in AC or just come for the day. Whatever you want to do, and you don't need to be staying at Oceans Casino to attend the actual event. I know a lot of people maybe can't afford to spend the whole day or stay at that particular property. That's fine. You can stay anywhere you want. You could just show up for the day, make a weekend out of it, whatever you choose to do. But we will be there starting at noon on July 11th, going all day, baby, 12 to 6, Gangrene Beach Club. Hey, super chat here from Windy City, who's in the raffle for 4. Got to get in on the Todd jersey. If I somehow win the Knicks prize, respin and make sure one of the real Knicks fans get it. Windy City, you're the man. You are in the raffle for 4. And if you win later, we will, in honor of you, spin again. And that's the case, Windy City. I'm going to need you to send me an email with your full name and address so we can get yourself some merch from the Jake Asman merch store. But Windy City, you're in for 4. Let's go.
Get up. Let's go.
All right, open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Omari Brown hanging out with us here in his weekly spot here on a Wednesday. Jets hitting the practice field in front of the media this afternoon. I will have a shorter show than normal recapping that because I'm going to game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. So I got to get down to the Garden area before the game. Let's say hello first up today on the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline to Mr. NYC Restaurant Guy. What's up, my friend?
How you doing, guys? One thing, Nick stuff, I agree with kind of everything you're saying. I think even though the refs were worse in game 2, I think it pissed me off more because you get like the refs kind of being homers in home stadiums. So the fact that it was pretty bad again in New York was pretty annoying, but I feel like we still haven't played a good game in the finals yet. Like game 1 was a great comeback, but we had to make a comeback because we starting real slow in game 3. Like, I think when we put it together, I'm not too worried about the Knicks, hopefully taking tonight and then, closing out this series eventually. Funny note, last night I was working in the restaurant and Eric Mangini came in for dinner, which was pretty hysterical. Yeah, literally. I was sitting there and I was looking, I was like, yo, like, did you see that guy at table 4? Like, has he put a card down or anything? And I was like, that's gotta be him. Like, holy shit. So I went over and said hi. He was with, I don't really know. It was just another guy I didn't really recognize. He seemed like the restaurant's kind of in the theater district. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, theater people, actors like that might be around. He kind of seemed like he'd be someone who would be in like, I don't know, like in an Italian gangster kind of movie, like who he was with. But it was pretty funny. I went up to him. I was like, hey, like Mr. Mangini, like big fan, big Jets fan. Like, thanks for coming in. But that was kind of hysterical, like to have him in the restaurant.
The man genius. Wow. I mean, we know Eric knows how to eat some Italian food. Just ask Tony Soprano, season 7 of The Sopranos.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that was hysterical seeing him. And then on Jets stuff, 2 things. One, if the Jets didn't draft David Bailey, I think Frankie V would have the worst takes of all time forever. I think that's the only take he's ever gotten right that wasn't like crazy outlandish. Like if that didn't happen, I feel like I don't know what he else has had a crazy prediction of. I mean, like the ranking the players, like I don't really know. I feel like he goes back and forth between like picking and choosing when stats matter or not. Cause he's like, well, David Bailey's going to get 9 sacks. I'm like, well, McDonald had 9 sacks and he sucked last year. So like, I don't really know if that's good or not. But yeah, he's hysterical. He cracks me up. He seems like a great guy, but just sometimes when he gets on, I always like love listening to him just cause I'm like, all right, what outlandish thing. And Jake, I like that you keep him in check definitely. But in terms of win total, I think that's one, going into this year and like just looking at all the young players on the team, Minka, all these guys we brought in, which again, Minka not being better than Malachi Moore is outrageous. But I feel like there are 6 games that matter. And
NYC, did we lose you? No.
I was lagging a bit. Oh man.
And
he was cooking.
The Omari Brown black screen. Omari, NYC?
Okay. Sorry about that. Am I back? Am I good?
I hear you, but I can't see you.
I hear
okay.
you. You can't see you.
Oh shit. All right. Well, as long as you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Cool. But the 6 games. It's the 2 Dolphins games, the Raiders, the Browns, and the Cardinals. Those are the 6 games that matter. And I feel like we have to either win all of them, or like if you lose 1 or 2 of those, then you got to make it up by stealing a game from one of the NFC North teams, or like hoping. I mean, again, we've talked about it. Like you're going to get a game against a team that on paper right now looks like we're going to get blown out, and a quarterback's going to be hurt, or something's going to be, or something's going to go our way. But those are the 6 games that, like, if we look really bad in any of those games, I feel like that's it. Like that's like those are the teams we have to prove. Like I can't end the game, and I agree with you, Jake, 1,000,000%. And it's horrible to say, but like we have to beat the Titans. Like, and I think the narrative of that game is, if you're a Jets fan with our past, and as much as we can, talk about Robert Saleh, if you're going into game 1 with a head coach calling the defense, I would take Saleh in 2 seconds. I feel like Saleh calling the defense is something that, I wish he did with us, because he clearly was a good defensive coach. And I think that is more of a statement for Aaron Glenn than anything else, because there's no shot in hell that the Titans have more talent than us right now, as well as the fact that new regime, new coaches, the whole deal. That like, if Glenn can't get this team fired up to go out there and get after Cam Ward, I don't really know how the rest of the year is going to look. And again, like to say it's over after game one is brutal, and it doesn't always go that way. But like, I will admit that last year, game one, I was one of the people that was like, no, but at least we scored a lot of points against the Steelers. I thought that was good. And Jake, you called that. And I was like against it because I didn't want to believe it. But losing that game set the whole freaking year.
It's unfortunate. I didn't want to be right, but like, I was very annoyed last year that it was like, and I'm not blaming the fans for this because we're fans. It felt like the Jets players and coaches were like, it's just one game. We look really good. And then they weren't prepared for week 2. They no-showed against the Bills. Home game, first division game for Aaron Glenn, and they're down 35-3 in the fourth quarter. Like that was, I was alarmed 2 weeks into the Aaron Glenn tenure because they treated week 1 like they did something, moral victory. That doesn't exist against the Titans. You got to win the game. Because to your point, NYC, if you can't beat the Titans, how are we going to give them wins against some of those other, quote unquote, bad teams that we think the Jets should be better than this year? The Dolphins twice, the Cardinals, the Browns. They all got to be wins. But if you're going to lose to the Titans right away in week 1, what faith do I have that you're going to be able to beat those teams?
Absolutely. And it's funny actually, because I'll never forget after game 1 against the Steelers last year, then game 2, I brought a ton of my friends to that game. I was like, let's go to the Bills game, whatever. And I'll never feel, it was like a weird, embarrassing feeling where 3 of my buddies were watching the Giants game on their phone while the Jets were just getting blown out. And I was just like, what is this team? They were like, this is so brutal. But yeah, I agree 1,000%. Because I think too, like if the Jets lose week 1, then you have 3 NFC North teams saying we're not going to be the one to lose the Jets. Like no friggin' way. Like they're going to look at us as that's the type of team that we need to be to make sure that we maintain our spot in the division. And that's we would much rather them, obviously they're going to, play us to beat us, but having us come out of week 1 with a win in Tennessee, I think will, put their backs up a little bit. And I think too, again, like we roster and on paper, I think is obviously, having players is important, but I feel for guys like Garrett and Brees. Like I can't if I'm them, and we lose game 1 and then we lose game 2, why do they not want to get the hell out of here? This is so. Am I still a black screen? That's hysterical.
That's hilarious.
NYC, I take a lot of calls every day doing the show, but this is the most impressive one I've ever seen from the black hole. So you crushed this, man. Well done.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Go Knicks. Have fun at the game tonight. Go Knicks, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, awesome. NYC, yeah.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Oh, great call there.
Yeah, that was good, man. Yeah, fire me up. From the black hole's hilarious. Yeah, from the wormhole, man. He was spitting fire. Good for him.
So NYC, I don't know which Bardo restaurant it is. He mentioned the theater district, so that was the one that the Man Genius was at. Let's take you back to the final season of The Sopranos when the great Eric Mangini was wining and dining at Vesuvio's, and Tony just had to say hello to the then Jet head coach.
You know who's in tonight? Man Genius.
It's the Jets coach, sweetie. I should go say hello.
That was the entire cameo for Mangini. That was it. Awesome. The Jet coach, awesome. Sweetie. I should go say hello.
He's like, I gotta say hello. I gotta say hello. Reminds me of my father-in-law. He saw Joe Flacco at the supermarket. And that's just, I think that's just perfect. He goes, I had to say hi.
Look at Mangini there. Had to say hello. The Jet coach, sweetie.
Oh, that's awesome.
I should go say hello.
She's just like,
oh, man.
So where do the Sopranos rank for you?
Top 3. Easy.
Top 3?
Yeah.
All right. I never watched it. I haven't watched
ever. You would love it, dude. Ever. Yeah. It holds up.
Get into it.
Definitely. That should be your next show. It holds up over time. You'll love it.
Okay. Yeah. I always debate my fiance and I. So we were going to do The Wire or The Sopranos. So we're going to do so maybe we'll do The Sopranos.
Edutainment says playing catch up. Well, if you know what you're doing. Again, I'm not trying to come up with a storyline here. I probably wouldn't even mentioned Bill Parcells saying anything about Aaron Glenn because I figured he'd give the typical coach speak. I love Aaron. He's going to do a great job. This is the worst endorsement of someone that he supposedly loves I've ever heard.
On Aaron Glenn, another one from your coaching tree. Do you think Aaron Glenn's set up to succeed with the Jets?
You know, I'm praying for him. He's one of my favorite players. I really have a high regard for him personally, so I'm hoping for his success, yes.
Do you think he's buying his own groceries? If they want him to cook the meal, Coach, I don't know if he's buying his own groceries.
Don't be using my quotes.
Well, you kind of have to have that to have success, right?
Well, if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, like if I go into a real grocery store, I don't know what I'm doing.
Does Aaron Glenn know what he's doing? I mean, we hope he does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, every time I hear it, I'm just like, ugh, man. I think that was the nicest take or the nicest comment he can give on Aaron Glenn without absolutely shredding him. I would love to know what Parcells really thinks off the record. But I think he was being as nice and as generous as he could be to a player that bled for him, that he loved as a player, and that he loved as a person.
Tough. Brian writes in, Jets need to win those games they're supposed to win, but it doesn't matter if you can beat crappy teams. If you want to go far, beat the good teams to prove you're an actual good team. Well, here's the bare minimum I think they have to do. They got to win a game against the Bills and the Pats this year. Like, you got to beat some division opponents. Miami should be 2 wins. Again, I'm if you're trying to talk yourself into the Jets, Miami needs to be 2 wins. Do I think they'll win both games against them? No, because I don't have any faith in the Jets actually doing what they're quote unquote supposed to do. Because Miami's looking at the Jets like that should be 2 wins for us too, if we're being honest. So yeah, we'll see. But you got to beat a division opponent. For all of Robert Saleh's faults, you know what he did? He beat the Bills with Zach Wilson each year. That the Jets ended up, either starting 6-3 or they were 4-3 without Rodgers in 2023. Like, beat a division opponent. Beat the Bills at least once. Beat the Pats at least once. Beat Miami twice. You have to be 3-3 in your division to have a chance to be a playoff team. That's the only way. I don't think 2-4 and you're going to be able to get into the playoffs in the AFC.
Honestly, I'm with you. Split with the Pats, split with the Bills, and don't get blown out. You have to start having competitive games here. And NYC was right, and I agree with him for 95% of what he said. I don't think the Titans have that much. I think the rosters are similar. I think it's going to come down to coaching, and that's where that's where we get a little terrified, because if it comes down to coaching, we already know that we're we are going to be at a disadvantage until proven otherwise. But I think the talent level, and that's why we think that Darren Muji is. I think that he's going to be safe, just because if you look at the talent on paper, this is a more talented team. I understand the individual accolades that some of your previous favorite players had, Sauce and Quinnen. This is a better overall team than it was last year. So if you go out there and you lay an egg in Nashville with a second-year QB that's on his second offensive coordinator, he's on his second system. Like, I thought Carnell Tate was a good prospect. I think Calvin Ridley is pretty good, and they have Wandale still. I think that you can match up with them. You got Stevens, Pons, you got Minka. I think you match up really well. Now, the only area that it's going to be a struggle, Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best defensive players in this entire league, and he's going to be going against that interior. So I don't like the Jeffrey Simmons versus the Josh Myers or Dylan Parham matchup. But outside of that, let's strap up and let's go. I think that the rosters are very evenly matched, and you could even argue that the Jets have the advantage in some of those areas. So there's no excuses, Jake. There really aren't any excuses.
No excuses. Play like a champion.
Exactly.
That's it. Oh, we got big Jet news here. You ready for this, Omari?
Let's do it.
This is from the Jets themselves posting this. You and I spent some time earlier talking about A.D. Mitchell and the dynamics with him and Geno Smith. I'm here to tell you right now, they got themselves a handshake. What do we think?
All right. Simple, to the point. All right. Not mad at it. Man, they love a slow motion video during OTAs, huh?
Oh, the Jets live for it.
It's like everything is slow motion.
10 touchdowns. That's what Hawk says. You're going more or less on A.D. Mitchell, 10 total touchdowns.
Less. Less. I think that's the total that we should be talking about for Garrett. I think if A.D. Mitchell gives them 6 touchdowns, I think we'd all be excited. I think you and I would be excited. Yeah, I think. But Garrett needs, listen, we said this. Garrett, I want to see 170 targets from Garrett, and I want to see, my hot take, I actually saw a fan posting that Garrett Wilson, to be the comeback player of the year. I think that's pretty much that's a QB award for one of the QBs coming back from injury or something like that. My take would be Garrett Wilson for All-Pro, second team All-Pro or first team All-Pro. I think this is a All-Pro year for Garrett with the weapons that he has, with the QB that he has, that's going to be focused on him. I think that we could see Garrett Wilson's first All-Pro season. How you feel about
Garrett on PrizePicks only has 4.5 as his reception touchdown number, which I think is way too low if he's healthy. And A.D. Mitchell, they don't even have any numbers for him yet. So hopefully we get those soon, closer to the year, and we can put together some fun lineups involving them. But again, if Garrett's healthy, he's going to do what he's done the first 3 years of his career. He's going to go over 1,000 yards. He's going to have 90-something catches, if not more. And he's going to score anywhere from, let's say, 5 to 8 touchdowns. That's the minimum. I think he could have a much greater year if Geno actually resembles a lot more of the player he was in Seattle than the player he was with the Raiders last year.
Yeah, I'm with you. And that's why I said I think that this could be All-Pro Garrett. That's what I want to see. With a balanced run game, with a quarterback that's actually going to, get him the ball. I feel like Garrett, there's still some untapped parts of his game. I think he can be a deep threat. I don't think that he just has to operate intermediate and just working from the slot. I want to see him. I want to see the full arsenal, man. I really would like him to be what a lot of us think he is. And that could be, from a talent standpoint, he could be a top 8 wide receiver in all the league. So I think that would be one of my hot takes. First All-Pro for Garrett Wilson.
Can't freaking wait. Let's go. Omari, appreciate you hopping on. Let's go, Knicks. Win tonight. Put all the pressure on the Spurs if the Knicks go 3-1.
Listen, man, let's take a stranglehold of this series. I've always said it was Knicks in 6, but listen, I would love to be wrong and go Knicks in 5. This is a huge swing game. All right, because if it's 2-2 going back to San Antonio, things could get really spooky. And we don't even want that. We're not even going to put that out there. Knicks are going to go back to San Antonio up 3-1, and I think that the Knicks are probably going to put it together, and we're going to see the real Knicks that we saw leading up to this finals, man. So fired up. Always a pleasure, my brother. Let's do it again.
Omari, you're the best. We'll talk soon. Appreciate you hopping on. The great Omari Brown with us there in his weekly spot. Knick fans, how we feeling? Game 4 tonight, NBA Finals. We're raffling away this limited edition laminated Knicks Finals ticket and a playoff towel. You get both items if you enter the raffle and win the prize. Gift the membership. Send in a super chat or Venmo or Zelle. That qualifies. $10 is the minimum there. Gets you 2 raffle entries. Gifted membership costs $5. If you want in, you'll be entered to win a signed Richard Todd jersey, signed Glenn Pylon, signed Garrett Wilson jersey art print, and a cat signed jersey as our top prize. So that is what is on the line this week on the show. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Right now, there is no one on hold. So if you call in, you're getting on the show. It is that easy. We're going to get to your calls right after we go down memory lane. I take you back to yesterday afternoon when Scott returned to this program.
Big Show, what the fuck's up, brother?
Okay. I'm with it now.
My pleasure. How are you? So what do you want for our
that's doing a lot better. No more nerve pain. Thank you.
I'm glad you feel no comfort, brother.
Yeah. I'm good to go.
You're good to go? Nurse or bad dude?
I got you.
I hope you feel wonderful. How many ones are we going to have? 5? What are you looking at?
That's not me. Nope.
Just a question.
I'm not even rocking at all.
Interior defense, which would be the inside linebacker or the Will or the Sam. Either way.
The chefs need to figure out when it's not when you guys aren't responsible for.
Is that Mad Max? Mad Max, did you actually build muscle? Did you build muscle?
Oh man, Scott. How you doing? Let me teach you some karate class. Scott.
Did you build muscle? Yes or no?
Yeah. I think, Scott, I have bigger muscles than you. That's 0. I can curse Beastbreaker. Virgin!
Can we talk about football or no? Is that too much of our? Not you, Gary, but can we talk football or no?
I mean, oh, jeez. I'm not that worried about it.
I mean, holy shit! There you go. What's up, dude? No. VMAC, you know.
VMAC, clean my muscles. Look at my back. Look at my old forearms.
You look amazing. Oh shit, Robert C, what's up, dude?
Jets got to get things going next week. I mean, they play Pittsburgh and they play New England after that, and they've got the Texans. I think they're going to play Jacksonville again. I mean, you all have a good week.
What a show it was. We'll be talking about that show yesterday for centuries, trust me. The Poon Man says, hilarious show yesterday. Poon, you're in the raffle for 4. And it was a wild one.
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo.
Major Poonage, thank you. In for 4. Giveaway, end of the show. Now's the time to call in if you want in on the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll do a couple of your calls. First up today. Actually, second up today, because NYC restaurant guy was the first up. The son of Jason in Jerusalem is on the line. Is this right? Is this true?
Yeah, I'm not imposter. He's my dad.
I can't see your dad. I'm assuming he's next to you.
No, he's in the other room.
Is he?
Yeah. Want me to prove it?
I believe you.
I'm already on my way.
All right.
He wants me to prove it. There you go.
There he is. Hey.
So my question is, do you think Joe Tippmann should be extended?
I would try and get a deal done because I think long term, as we've seen, the faster you get a deal done, the better it ages. And if you believe in Joe Tippmann, like I think the Jets should, and I do, I would extend them.
All right. Thank you.
That's all you have?
That's all I wanted to know. I mean,
Love
I really think it should be done. I think it should be done faster, the better. I mean, how much do you think he'll be seeking?
I'd have to look up what the guard market is to get a better idea. But whatever the latest top 3 guards are, he probably would want to be in that range.
All right. That's all I got for now.
Now, son of Jason in Jerusalem, what is your actual name?
My name is Moshe.
Moshe, great first call. I'm putting you in the raffle for 2. Are you a Knicks fan?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you win, we will send your prize all the way to Israel.
Appreciate that.
You got it. Let's go, Knicks.
Love you, bro. Let's go.
Ow! Hey, hit my teeth. Oh, well.
Beast? Beast, are you there? Well, that's disappointing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. The time is now to listen in to the head coach of the New York Jets at the podium before the Jets hit the field for OTAs that are open to the media. Here is Aaron Glenn.
All right. Good morning. So since this is the last week of our OTAs, I want to give you guys just some insight on how this week is going to go about. So yesterday was really an extension of what we did last Thursday, which was a number of reps in the red zone. And that was a good practice for us yesterday. Going into today will be heavy special teams. We'll have a walkthrough with base down offense and defense, but for the most part, special teams will be emphasized today. So today is one of the days I really like because for the rookies and first-year players, man, this is where they start to get really understand exactly what their role can be when it comes to special teams. So that'll be good for those guys. And then tomorrow will be heavy third down day. All right, so that's how the week will be planned out. When it comes to injuries, no real injuries up to date. The only one that I will say that you guys will not see up to date will be Cade. And Cade had back tightness, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. The thing is, since it is a special team practice, maybe we want to make sure we just hold him out for the day, and he'll be fine going to vet mini camp. So any questions going forward?
Cade being Cade Cunningham. That's disappointing. So the media is going to be there today, and they won't even get a chance to chart the stats for Klubnik. Man. Disappointing. I wanted to have some practice stats to pretend matter. All right. More of Aaron Glenn.
It's Cade York.
Say it again.
Cade York.
Oh, Cade, quarterback Cade. Yeah.
You got two Cades there.
Got it.
Or is it the special team? I wasn't sure.
Got it.
You do have a new kicker in Jason Sanders. Just talk about that for a little bit and just what he brings.
Yeah. Obviously, he did a really good job in Miami. And I've said this last time we spoke is anytime we can get a good player that can create competition, we want to bring the player in to be able to create that. So those guys are battled out. I'm sure we'll say exactly how far this goes, but it's just creating competition.
What happened with Quentin Skinner? I know you guys liked him last year.
Yeah, well, Quentin had some injuries, and at this point, we want to make sure that he can get himself healthy and see how that goes going forward.
Has anyone stood out to you during these sessions? AJ,
Well,
like improvement-wise?
Yeah. Here's the hard thing about OTAs because the physical part of it is not really a huge part, So I would say this. I say the mental part. In all three phases, I've been impressed with our guys of really understanding and learning what the scheme's about. And the one thing that I talk about more than anything is just really understanding the details of the scheme, understanding the why. Because once you understand the why of the scheme, it allows you to make plays within the scheme. So I think the players have been on top of that. They've been doing a good job of that. Listen, we still have a ways to go, and we understand that. But, man, we're really the execution, the details and the discipline about what we're doing, that's been the focal point on every day of what we're trying to create.
Yes. One guy we haven't asked you much about, if at all, is Devondre Sweat.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how he's coming along. That is one large person right there.
He's easy to pick out. He's easy to pick out. But he's doing a really good job. Again, he's no different than any other guy that I talk about as far as really trying to understand exactly how we do things. Obviously, this is his first year here. But going through phase one, really focusing in on the strength conditioning part, then going through phase two where we really emphasize strength conditioning, but now really starting to understand exactly what the scheme, the details of the scheme and exactly what his job would be. Obviously in phase three, the physical part is not where things that we can actually just emphasize for the most part, but he's doing a really good job and he's starting to understand exactly how he fits into the scheme. Again, another guy that we know has a ways to go, but for the most part, I like exactly where he's at.
Is his weight where it's supposed to be?
His weight's where it needs to be. It is.
And just to follow on that in a larger sense, it seems like you added some big players like him and Darryl Jackson.
Yeah.
Was there an emphasis in the offseason to add size to your front?
It was. It's a big man's game. It will always be a big man's game. And for us to be able to add large men that have the ability that those guys have, the agility that those guys have, it only makes us better as a team. And that's across the board. O-line, D-line, at the linebacker spot with DeMario's about 242 pounds, something like that. Even our guys on the edges with JJ and Osai. Those guys are big, man. Even Bailey, he's a 255-pound man with long arms. So to your point, yes, we that was an emphasis for us. But not only big men, but big men that can move.
We asked Josh Myers about Membu last week too. He said
Yeah.
he had a chance to be one of the greats.
Calm your freaky down.
Him this spring, this in his second year.
Yeah. There's a sense of urgency with him as far as how do I take my game to the next level, and the things I have to do to be able to be one of the top offensive linemen in this league. And a lot of that has to do with the technique part of it, which he's really getting that from his coach. A lot of it has to do with the mentality part of it, of every day, man, I am chopping wood to be the best that I can be. And then physically making sure that he's in shape, physically making sure that he's strong, physically making sure that he's conditioned to be able to play a number of plays. So all those things he's putting in line to be able to be one of the better O-line players in this league. But listen, he's keeping everything in perspective, though, to make sure that, man, this is a team game. And I want to be good, not just for myself, but I want to be good for the team, if that makes sense.
You guys drafted tight ends the last 2 years who are like pass catchers.
Yep.
And you have Jeremy on the roster, and I know you talked about how you could get more out of him.
Yeah.
What do you see his role? How do you see him progressing?
It's no different than what I talked about last year, and he's a versatile player. And when I say that, he's a guy that can play in line at the wide tight end. He's a guy that we could actually flex out and use him in pass patterns. But I think we have a really good mix when it comes to the tight end room. Somebody that's versatile like he has. Then you got Mason, man, who's really growing in that aspect of being versatile. We know what he can do in the passing game. Then with Sadiq, we know that he's just a matchup nightmare. So I'm happy about that room. I think those guys, I think they'll do a good job for us. So I'm excited to see how they operate during training camp.
Carl Dunbar, he has a history of developing guys and
Yeah.
really talented defensive linemen. So I'm curious, what was your relationship like with him before he came here?
Yeah.
What does he do that he's able to get the most out?
So I was a scout here when he was coaching here. And this just over time, I call him Dundee. So when you hear me say Dundee, that's what I'm talking about. So over time, we've met up at the combine a couple of times just to talk D-line play. And I was always intrigued about his the techniques that he taught. I was always intrigued about the drills that he had. I was always intrigued about the mentality that he brought to the position, to where I knew at some point if I had the opportunity to hire him as my D-line coach, that I would jump at the chance to do it. So there's no secret to why the guys that he's coached end up playing at a high level. It's because of what he brings to the table and the mentality he has himself. And I think those guys really buy into who he is, and that shows on the field for the most part.
AJ, I think Sherwood would probably be the first one to say he didn't have the season he wanted to last year.
Yep.
What have you seen from him this spring, and what are your expectations for him in year two with you?
Well, I would say this: it's always good when a player is self-aware, and it's always good when a player is his own toughest critic. And for him to say that, and for him to, for what I know about what we've talked about, for him to do the things that he's been doing this offseason to get himself into a position to where, listen, I want to be one of the top linebackers in the city. It's no different than what we just talked about with Membo. The way these dudes are going about their business in all three phases has been unbelievable for the most part. And listen, I'm going to support that player. I'm going to continue to help that player. Even when you have a down year, man, you try to look at the things that like, what can I do to pick myself up? And I think with DeMario being next to him, that's going to help him out a lot, because he's still a young player. And he is a player that came from being a safety to being a linebacker. So having somebody that's been in this league for a long time as DeMario sitting right beside him, it could only help him. So any player that's self-aware and will critique themselves like that on a year-to-year basis is always good.
How was Braylon Allen look, coming off
Yeah.
that kind of...
Yeah. Yeah, that's to see him out there and to see him run around, to see a big man that's as agile, that obviously you can use him in the run game, but to be able to use him in the passing game, that was the vision, with him, Brees, and Isaiah last year, and obviously that didn't come to fruition. So, man, I'm just looking forward to seeing him get out in camp and be a part of that three-headed monster I call him, as far as running back. So it's good to see him moving around. Obviously, we hate to see him go down with the injury, but man, it's good to see him out there with us.
It seems like this time of year doesn't translate quite as well for the line of scrimmage players as it does for DBs or receivers. For a player like David Bailey, what can you tell about what he's done so far and how he's growing, and what can you not tell?
Yeah. The first step quickness is something that pops off the tape like immediately. Obviously, you already said the physical part of it, you just can't get as much as you want in that aspect, but you do see the hand usage. You do see the moves that he's trying to create, and this is the time when you want to work on some things that you might not feel as comfortable with. This is the time to work on those things. So he's working on some of his weaknesses, but you do see the strong points of what he has, and I don't ever want him to lose sight of that. Of the things that we know that he can do, but this is the time to work on things that you want to get better at, and that's what we're focused on with him. Is, man, let's make sure we use that speed rush that you have, but also understand that you can rush with power and you have a spin move that can be pretty deadly in his arsenal.
Thank you, everyone.
All good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the New York Jets, Aaron Glenn, speaking before the Jets hit the field today for an OTA practice that the media is allowed to cover. Let's give you some takeaways from what we just watched. Cade Klubnik, back tightness. So he will not participate in practice. Glenn saying he's fine and they're not concerned. Okay. No Chubb for Club today at One Jets Drive. Aaron Glenn says Demario Davis will only help Jamie and Sherwood bounce back. Commend Sherwood for working to get better after 2025. Sherwood was a good player 2 years ago. Last year had a bad year. But I think he's a good kid from what I've heard. I think he's a hard worker. And I do think he will be a lot better this year than he was last year. I don't know if he'll be what he was 2 years ago. It's a different scheme. I know Robbie Sabo's been saying from the beginning he never thought Sherwood was a good fit for Glenn's scheme. He was surprised the Jets re-signed him in the first place. So we'll see if they can get something out of Jamie and Sherwood, because let's be real, if they can't, God forbid, 37-year-old Demario Davis gets injured, you're in trouble. I think the Jets have a professional defense as far as like the starters. The depth is where you get concerned. If the Jets get bereft with injuries, that's a problem. Some other takeaways from Aaron Glenn. I like what he said about Carl Dunbar. Look, Glenn gets credit for Dunbar because that's a relationship that he formed when Glenn was a scout with the Jets, and Dunbar at the time was the Jets D-line coach. And he stayed in touch with Dunbar, said he met with Dunbar at the Combine over the years, and they talked ball. And he said if he had the opportunity to hire him to coach D-line, he was going to jump at the opportunity. And that's a good hire by Glenn. Mike Tannenbaum said famously, the strength of Aaron Glenn will be his coaching staff hires. He's going to hire a great staff. And in year one, he hired an abomination of a coaching staff. And he's lucky to get the chance to do it again in year two. But one of the best hires he made, bar none, I think, is Dunbar. And I think especially when you invested the number 2 pick in the draft on David Bailey, I like the fact that we got Carl Dunbar back in the fold. So give Glenn credit for having that relationship with Dunbar to be able to get him to take the Jet D-line job. Interesting comments about using Braylon Allen in the passing game. I just don't think there's going to be enough reps to do that. Braylon Allen's got to, prove he can stay healthy. And he's got to prove that his potential can actually be translated into meaningful plays on the field. I don't think that we are going to see Aaron Glenn tell Frank Reich, we got to get Braylon Allen the ball as a pass catcher. Not when you have Sadiq, Cooper, A.D. Mitchell, Mason Taylor, Garrett, And Brees could be a weapon out of the backfield, so I'd be surprised. You just paid Brees. I'm not messing around with Braylon Allen reps. Give all the reps to Brees. He's paid like a top 4 running back in the league. Brees Hall needs to be utilized as such. He shouldn't come off the field. I need Brees Hall on the field for 75 to 80% of the snaps. That's what I'm paying him to do. So I'm not really buying the, Braylon Allen, we're going to use him as a passer. I don't think so. Let Braylon Allen prove he's healthy first. And then the final takeaway I jotted down in my notes, Glenn asked about David Bailey, and he said his first step quickness is something that just pops off the tape, and that he's been working on some of his weaknesses, a.k.a. his run defense. Now, the reason why I like the Dunbar hire, Leger Duzable told me on this show that when he played for the Jets, Carl Dunbar helped him more against a run as a coach and proper technique than he did as a pass rusher. So I think David Bailey's in good hands. So I feel like we've never had a number 2 pick that is this much under the radar like Bailey is, but here we are. So what do you think of those comments from Glenn? What did I miss anything? Did anything stand out? Sorry for the Chubb for Club folks. You won't get any training camp or OTA stats to dissect on the show this afternoon. Barbarossa writes in, meeting up to talk about the D sounds like my kind of meetup. Hey now, this is a family show, damn it. You got Glenn talking about adding large men. That was a freaky press conference if I've ever heard one.
Calm your freaky down.
My goodness. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Knicks playoff towel. Knicks NBA Finals Game 3 commemorative ticket up for grabs on the show. To your calls we go. Adam, who's too cool for all of us, is up next.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, but looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey Jake, that was a fun press conference. A lot of smoke.
a lot of freakiness.
Yeah, I thought I guess he's been watching the show because that sounded awfully lot like Beast. I think we've heard some bangers from Beast that were being borrowed by Aaron Glenn. It's despicable he hasn't given Beast credit for those great ideas.
I mean, Beast is a genius. Just ask him.
He is. He's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, it's a shame we can't see any Club Nick. It's a shame, but that's okay. I mean, in the end, I think I got a good vibe from this team that this is not going to be like a sorry team. It's going to feel sorry for itself because I think we jettisoned a lot of that out of the crew. So I hope that as y'all were saying, like I hope we beat the Titans, man.
What a bar we have. Yeah, I don't think the team is going to be sorry for themselves.
Right? No, seriously. Like
it's a real thing. It just shows you how far we are from actually being like, I think it's a team that's going to win 10 games and go to the playoffs.
I mean, last time, what was it? Like in the 90s with Kodai, we had 3 wins, then we went to 1 or 2.
Yeah, they won 4 games over 2 years.
Yeah, so we actually got worse. But I don't see it.
I don't think they're going to be worse than last year. I think as down as I am on Glenn, and he's got to prove himself, I think they've added too much talent and a professional quarterback where they can't be worse than a 3-win team. There's no way.
Another way I can look at it is a lot of the players that are still there that have been dealing with these really awful seasons. Beating the Titans not only would just be a win that you're supposed to get, but you could also make the argument that there'll be blood in the water at that point, and like all the rage and all the energy and all the anger that the current players have been facing and dealing with, like it's just going to spill out on the field against the following 3 NFC opponents. Like 1 win could translate to 2, 3, 4. Just then they'll realize, okay, we can actually win games now. Now we have the confidence factor. Hopefully it's because we have a good offense this time around, and Gino can sling it, and Brees can be Brees, and the new faces will contribute. We'll get an interception, like all the things that we can bury from last season will be buried forever, and they move on. They're like, this is a hungry team. We could be a feisty team and an angry one. And
I like how you say buried. You say buried.
Yeah, it's my very vanilla Central New Jersey accent. What can I say? But yeah, we got to win against the Titans. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long season. And all the pressure's on the Jets to perform this.
I can feel it. I have the same feeling I had week 1 against the Steelers, that it was going to spiral, and it did. I hope I'm wrong. We got to win. I think they're going to win week 1, but we got to actually do it.
Yeah, I'm still a little iffy on. It's good that today was Special Teams Day, because we got to figure out if the kickers on this roster, or if we can pull somebody from the UFL that's really talented.
If you really want to know why today's Special Teams Day, because they don't want to give the media anything to cover. So no Cade, Special Teams Day. There won't be a lot of passing stats. They just want to try and have as little exposure to any potential negative storyline that could come about as possible. That is my, trained media sense on what the Jets are doing with this.
Which is ironic, because it's game 4 today, and that is going to take all the media attention. So
right. There's barring a catastrophic injury, which knock on wood doesn't happen, there's no attention being paid to what the Jets are doing outside of this show, which is only has diehard Jet fans watching on June 10th, if we're being honest.
Pretty much. But I like what you were all saying about Dunbar, helping Bailey on the run game. I love that Bailey's quiet. That actually gets me really excited, because this is just a dude that's gonna perform. And honestly, if his floor is Jadeveon Clowney, just a reliable 10 sack a year guy, awesome. You know how many times we keep saying, no, let's not get Jadeveon Clowney in free agency because we needed the production. If we have someone that at worst is gonna have that kind of production, that's a great pick at number 2, and I can see the value. And let's hope that we can show the Titans that we're far ahead of them in the roadmap to the playoffs.
Adam, well done. A very good call. You were not very generic today.
Mm-mm.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Adam's not letting go. You shouldn't either. Beast writes in, just had a frustrating day. I'm very frustrated and annoyed. Well, considering it's only 10:51 a.m. where Beast lives, what has this man done where he's already talking about his day in the past tense?
Sadiq, certified freak. Just got off the John. Oh, yeah. We're running. Whew. That hit the spot. Little strawberry. $1.99 for one of these. You ever try one of these?
No.
Sparkling water. Delish. Very, very, very delish. Not bad. Game 4. Tonight. It's revenge, and we're going to take it back. What we did last game was criminal, cheap, low down. This time it's payback.
Who's Wembley?
Wemby, to me, at 7-foot freak. Yeah, the one that pushed Brunson's hey, punk. Or how about you sound like Craig from Friday? Go, hey, punk. So you want to get physical on our? You want to get physical? Let's go. You want to get physical? Come on, punk. Let's put it on the street.
Hey, Beast, show everyone how you would take out Victor Wembanyama tonight if you were a Knicks player.
Come on, man. Don't touch me, fool. Man, back yourself up, fool. Don't get up on my space. Man, what you say about that punk? Back your ass up. Get my way, fool.
Hey, pretend you're Karl Anthony Towns backing down Wembanyama in the post.
Shit, don't touch me, fool. Don't bring your big ass up here. Man, you better check yourself. You better check yourself. Dude, you ever consider deodorant? Yeah, you ever hear of it? Yo, you ever hear of deodorant? It's like you freaking Frenchman. I understand you guys don't want to use deodorant here in America, but in America we use deodorant.
Do French people not use deodorant, Beast?
Those French bastards don't know what deodorant looks like. Here in America, we use deodorant.
Do you use deodorant?
Fuck yeah! I like my deodorant. I like the green deodorant. I like my speed stick. I don't have a problem with Brute. Hey, as long as deodorant is the best.
What about Old Spice? You want to smell like a man.
Hey, Old Spice? Now that's what I call suave. Now, suave.
I'm an Old Spice guy.
You want suave?
Unless Mando's paying me, then I'm a Mando guy. But they haven't renewed in a couple months.
Now this, my friends, that's suave right there, boys.
Now, remember what the initial premise of this call was. B said he was very frustrated and he had a frustrating day. And that has since led to this call where now his shirt is off. And I don't know if he's backing down Wembanyama in the post or if he's on a roller coaster ride.
Woo! Game 4. Time 7-foot freak. Back it up or your ass goes down. Like, man, watch yourself, fool. Man, next time you don't deodorant yourself, man, you're lucky I don't put that deodorant up your ass. Don't bring that shit over here. Just because you're from France and you don't have deodorant, hey, take a stick of deodorant.
Hey, Beast, what do you think of Bigay's?
Run that by me.
You know, I said it wrong, actually. What is it? Baguette? The French bread? It's a baguette?
Take that. We don't. Hey, that's for the fancy people. Ha ha ha. We like sourdough bread. I like sourdough bread.
You like all bread.
Man. Which one?
You like all bread.
No. There's certain ones I dig for. See, if you're gonna make a good, if you're gonna make some Italian bread or say bruschetta, you better use a good French sourdough or Italian bread with sesame seeds.
Beast, what do you think of the fact Wembanyama eats snails?
What a nasty bastard. Nasty. I find that disgusting. I'd rather eat their cheese. Hey, you know what? Let's go string the cheese. Let's string some cheese. I'm ready to string some cheese. You know. Let's go string the cheese. String the cheese. That new video, stringing the cheese, please. Stringing the cheese.
Holy shit, ass maniacs! You know what time it is? Time to get to that beast attic and string some cheese. Oh yeah! Come on! The Jets win the offseason! That's got me stringing the cheese! The Knicks come back, breaks records! That's got me stringing the cheese! The Yankees crush the Red Sox! That's got me stringing the cheese! When Cisco send gift memberships! That's got me stringing the cheese! Oh, stringing the cheese make me happy! My stringing the cheese might look messy, but cleanup is a pleasure after a damn good stringing the cheese. Oh yeah! Oh. The Jets could make the playoffs. That's got me stringing the cheese. The Knicks might be finals champions. That's got me stringing the cheese. Oh, the Yankees chasing 28. That's got me stringing the cheese. When Mimosa sends a super chat, that's got me stringing the cheese. Oh, stringing the cheese make me happy. My stringing the cheese might look messy, but cleanup is a pleasure after a damn good stringing the cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm stringing the cheese.
Stringing the cheese. Now you're not going to find no heavier track than that, Jack. Let's get back to our feature presentation with Dr. DJ Asman, and let's get partying like it's 1999. Now, can you dig that? Sucker!
Yeah, you know, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know what that was, but I loved every second of it. Knicks in 5. Let's go.
Yes! Yes! Let's go Knicks! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Last chance to get in. We'll have coverage of OTAs this afternoon. We covered Glenn's presser live for those of you just joining us. You joined at a wild time. We also have a great giveaway today It's a Jets jersey or what you see on the screen there, a Knicks NBA Finals laminated limited edition ticket and a Knicks playoff towel fresh from Madison Square Garden. Football guy says, what will it take for you to have to string the cheese? A Knicks Game 4 win will be stringing the cheese. A Jets win over the Titans Week 1 will be stringing the cheese. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what does string the cheese mean? The answer is, it means whatever you want it to mean. On that note, now for something completely different, Jason in Jerusalem is on hold, and he is our next caller. Hello, Jason.
Stringing the cheese sounds like something you can get arrested for doing in public.
Or something you do before you eat breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, speaking of which, on cheese-related note, Papa John's in Jerusalem, now kosher.
Wow, Papa John's is in Jerusalem? That's awesome.
Well, they've been in Jerusalem for a while, but they actually just turned kosher.
I once interviewed Papa John. It was very wild. I was in college.
Were you like yelling out Papa John like Peyton Manning, Omaha or
Omaha?
Somebody once asked a question. I was reading the article once. I thought it was hilarious. Like, as QBs make their call, could a company pay a QB to make a call and like their brand name? Like, for example, if he yells like Dick's Sporting Goods, like at the line, just to get free advertising, and they'll just pay the player.
Well, honestly, if you get the right player who actually could have a say, like if you did a deal with Peyton Manning, no one's telling Peyton Manning you can't make one of your audibles this week. PrizePicks. Like there's no way that like Peyton wouldn't be able to implement that, or Mahomes for today's current player. Like if Mahomes just wanted to start yelling random companies at the line of scrimmage, he could easily. Yeah. State Farm. He's sponsored by State Farm. State Farm easily.
It's a shame they don't do it because he gets some extra, extra money in their pockets doing that. So it's only a matter of time, considering everything else is advertised now. Why not have the advertisement audibles?
Omaha.
Steaks. Omaha steaks.
Beast breaker. Beast.
I do like how Beast said we're going to party like it's 1999, the same year that the Knicks lost to the Spurs in the finals. Might not be the best year to say we're going to party like.
Oh no, we're ready. I've waited a long time for this. I've waited years for this. The time has come. It's two things. It's either you're going to put up or you're going to shut up. It's win or go home time. Make or break it.
Is Stringing the Cheese going to be your entrance music when you run to the ring, or are you going to have some other music?
No. I got plenty of other bands in my arsenal that are way, way powerful for anybody. And let me address it. I got several new bands. They're lined up. They're ready to go.
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Beast, let me ask you this. Do you think the Knicks should give either RJ Barrett or Emmanuel Quickly more minutes tonight? Maybe try and change the temperament of the game early.
Stay on the team. That means keep your foot on the gas and start blocking. I don't care what they're. We gotta start blocking all their shots. See, Castle's a little of a sneaky rat in the street. He likes to come out like a little rat. And I hate rats.
What if the Knicks put Tyson Chandler and hard foul Wembanyama early?
Halt! Tyson Chandler was on the Bulls in 2003. Then went to the Knicks a long time ago. See, that's changed history. We got the best team. We got the best squad.
Chris Dudley, man. It's got to be Chris Dudley.
We're ready for a fight. We're ready to bleed. We're ready to sweat. And as Flair once said, we're going to bleed. We're going to fight. We're going to sweat. And it's going to just be like 1985. We're going to go back in that cage and we're going to kick their sorry ass all over the place. And if we lose 6 ounces of blood, it doesn't matter. Why? Because we're crazier, we're bloodthirstier, and we're gonna kick their teeth down our throat. And if we pay for their hospital bill, it's not coming out of our pocket, it's coming out of their pocket.
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We have really covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, we went to 1999 and 1985 in one call.
Let's go next,
I would love like Beast's guide, a historical guide to the universe. What happened in every year.
Beast is a man's man. That's the only thing you have to know.
His wrestling knowledge is bar none. That's what I love about it. But how can you say whose time is my time is now? You had the open door and you didn't even take it. I mean, come on.
Kevin says Beast Neck is the king of hide and go seek. Derek says, you tell him, Beastie.
I'm trying to remember. You're talking about a high draft pick from France. Who was the guy the Knicks drafted one year that never even came over? Was it Frederick Weiss?
Yeah, who Vince Carter posterized in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Reese says, LOL, I'm driving and laughing. Reese, drive safely.
All right, Jake. Just remember the last time we were 10-6 as the Jets. The last time. But yeah, last time we went 10-6 in the season. Geno Smith started training camp as our
you can't even say week one. He started training camp as the starter.
Started training camp, and our linebacker core was the one who took care of it.
Well, let's hope that this time around, Geno Smith being back on the Jets means they'll have a winning season for the first time since he was last on the team.
And if it takes a backup to step up, let it be a backup who steps up. Whoever, we don't care how it is. We just want 10-6. We'll take in a heartbeat. 10-7 even.
Jet up. Let's go.
Jet up, Jason. Good call. All right. Last call for the raffle. We only have 3 memberships the whole show, and I want to give people more chances to win. I'm going to get the membership right now. If you get one from me, you're in the raffle, which will be this afternoon, for a Knicks limited edition finals ticket. They're going for a lot on the secondary market right now. We send this to you for free, and you get a playoff towel as well. I don't know why I pointed that way. Right there. All right. Knicks playoff towel. So, one gifted membership from yours truly officially sent LP King in the raffle for one.
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo.
Now that was good. Now let's get back to our feature presentation with, shall I say, Dr. T.J. Asman in the house. Let's go. Let's go back to our feature presentation with Dr. DJ Asman. Take it away, DJ. It's the floor is yours. Let's go there now. Ouch. Hey, hit my teeth. Oh, well. Seems like we'll just have to wait. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. All right. Tonight, game 4. You boys in San Antonio messed up big. You want to play? You never know. Whoop, you want to push? We'll play that game too. But we're not going to give you something you've never wanted in your life. You're not going to... War is coming, and war has been declared.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Prepare for an annihilation. San Antonio. I gotta go take a shit right now. Stringing the cheese. That's a warning to you guys. We're gonna get your ass. Well, you ain't gonna expect something that you haven't seen before. The ass. What do you need? You know I'm not in a good mood today. I already took a diarrhea dump, and my back's killing me. Does anybody else need anything?
I could do an entire show of just beast drops. I have enough of them. Ozzy in for one. Thank you, Ozzy. Let's go.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Ozzy's gifted membership went to listener David WH. So, David, if you're in the chat, thank Ozzy for your gifted membership. Derek sent in a $5 super chat. I'm going to count $5 super chats for the raffle today. A little listener appreciation. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Love you all. JETS. Jets. Derek, you are in for one.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh, my goodness. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. That does it for our first show. We're back this afternoon. Live takeaways from Jets OTAs. Either Nick Faria or Antoine Staley will be the guests. I'm sorting through their schedules in real time. So we will have a Jets reporter who's on site right now for the open OTA practice for the media, joining us for the full recap. Glenn already said it's a heavy special teams day, so I don't think we're going to have anything crazy to discuss, but you never know with the Jets. So we will be back this afternoon. You guys are the best. Thanks for watching. JETS, Jets. Let's go Knicks tonight. Win and restore order. Speaking of restoring order, if you missed yesterday's show, an all-timer. Enjoy. And again, we'll see you this afternoon.
What's going on with you, brother?
What up, Big Joe?
We're talking about Big Joe. Joe, he's a coach.
Hey, Big Joe's a legend. Yeah, he's enjoying himself. Are you sitting on that lazy boy?
You gotta get that. You gotta get that oiled up or something. That thing is squeaky.
I'm sorry, what?
A can of oil you can get at the store is about $6.
He can fix that with WD-40 and a wrench. He can fix that. That's fixable.
That's easy.
Okay.
He'll be fine. Let him enjoy himself. Big Joe's a man.
Big Joe, you still think the Knicks are gonna win?
I do.
Yeah, I still think they'll win.
Yeah, that's been a lot better. No more no point. Thank you.
We're talking about Big Joe. Joe, he's a coach.
Yeah, but what really helped was the surgery. It took away my nerve pain.
You up and around? You walking around, Big Joe? You up and around?
I got you.
Can you hear me? No? I don't think he can hear me.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm good to go.
necessarily. The Knicks game last night. Oh my
That's
god.
not me.
It was poorly efficient. So it was a poorly efficient.
I'm not even rocking at all.
Big Joe, why is
You're in the wrong
your church
place at the
speaking?
wrong time. That concludes our feature presentation. We will see you at 4 p.m. Eastern, live on the Jake Gasman Show. Have a good day. And remember, folks, Bob Barker is saying to help control the pet population, have your pets sprayed or neutered. Good night, everybody!
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!